Morning everyone, day 3. It's a port day. We're actually making a port stop in Port Canaveral, which is actually our first port stop ever in Port Canaveral. We've sailed out of there many times, but this is the first day where we're left a different port and stopping there for the day. We actually get in late, but not till 1 o'clock, but we're into the port late, like 8:30 I think is back on board. We're going to go to the Kennedy Space Center because our little astronaut Milan wants to go do that, so we get a few hours over there, then we'll be back on the ship to have some more fun. But it's about 8:30 this morning. Beautiful morning out here on the balcony. We're actually not going to go to breakfast. We're going to run down and do the Splashaway Bay kids water area this morning. Hopefully there won't be a crowd. We're going to do it for a little bit, then we're going to get ready and get lunch before we get off the ship and head to the Space Center.
In addition to the perfect storm water slides and 3 pools on board, Oasis has a dedicated area for the youngest cruisers. Splashaway Bay is a kid-sized water park that features colorful slides, sprayers, and water cannons. Children must be fully potty trained to enter the area. For the youngest of cruisers, there is a smaller, separate splash zone with slides for them, but is located adjacent to Splashaway Bay. All cruisers are welcome to join in the fun, but riders must be 42 inches tall to ride the larger orange slide. The area allowed kids to spread out and it never felt crowded. The longest line we saw for the slide was never more than 5 or 6 kids. Due to the size of the water park, there is limited seating around this area, but there is a mixture of chairs and loungers. We found the chairs to be uncomfortable, so we always favored the loungers. On most days, you could easily find at least 1 or 2 loungers throughout the area to drop your stuff on. Oasis-class ships are split down the middle, towards the front of the ship with Central Park, which you see here, down on Deck 8, and towards the back of the ship with the boardwalk, located on Deck 6, which are open to the elements above. The pool deck on Deck 15 is split into 4 quadrants, with pools and hot tubs in 3 of the 4, and the 4th dedicated to the Splashaway Bay. Our girls loved running back and forth from the water park to the hot tubs. There was always a lot of kids around, and this hot tub was family friendly.
Alright, we just got cleaned up back at the room here. We had some fun out on the pool deck, did some water slides, some hot tubs, and some swimming pools. And now we're getting ready to get off the ship in Port Canaveral. We actually have a room service coming, so we'll be able to eat here on our balcony as we head into Port Canaveral. We don't get in until approximately 1 o'clock, and then we're going to the Kennedy Space Center.
As part of our Sky Class amenities, all room service is included at no additional cost. As we planned to leave the ship promptly after arriving in port for our excursion, we decided to utilize this amenity for lunch. We were able to get ready for the excursion and watch our entry into port from the comfort of our suite. Room service was very accommodating for allergies and provided us with lots of gluten-free options, including burgers, pizza, chicken tenders, and buffalo wings. Our food did take a little longer than normal, and we were a little rushed to eat, but it all worked out in the end. Our excursion to the Kennedy Space Center met in the Royal Theater. As the theater was on the other end of the ship, we decided to walk across Deck 4. Casino Royale, the onboard casino, takes up most of the space on Deck 4. As we were in port, the casino was closed and empty. There are a wide variety of slots and table games, and this area can get loud and rowdy in the evenings. The casino is one of the few places where you can smoke on board, so just be aware if you walk through when it's open. As we exited the casino, we entered the art gallery. The closed area to our right is Studio B, or the ice rink, and the art gallery wraps around this venue. During the week, there was some auctions and raffles at the art gallery, but I really feel the importance and popularity of the art gallery has dwindled through the years. No longer are they the big draws for passengers. For us, the art is interesting to look at, and the girls always enjoy seeing it. We continued to traverse Deck 4 and past the Attic and Diamond Lounge prior to arriving at the theater. We were greeted by the Shore Excursions team, who separated us into our different excursions. Also meeting in the theater were the shuttles to Disney, Universal, and SeaWorld. Upon exiting the terminal, we boarded the Space Center buses for the drive over to Kennedy. We were given wristbands and a map of the Space Center. We arrived at the Space Center at 2:20. The park closes at 5, and if you want to visit the launch pad, you have to be in line by 2:30. Mylan decided to skip the tour out to the launch pads as she wanted to see the other attractions. The first attraction we visited was the Rocket Garden, which is home to 9 different rockets, including the Delta II, which was just added in March of last year. Most of these rockets are real, though they never flew in space, because in the early days of the American space program, we did not reuse or retrieve rockets once they launched. There are also 2 capsules that the girls enjoyed climbing in and exploring. We were able to view the brand new Gateway exhibit, which had a soft opening while we visited. This bold new attraction explores the future of space travel while highlighting what is happening right now in the space program. First, see the spacecraft of today and the visionary designs paving the way for human deep space travel, and discover the current cutting-edge space exploration innovations from NASA and commercial partners. The SpaceX Cargo Dragon was the first commercial spacecraft to deliver and return cargo from the International Space Station in 2012. The Orion Exploration Flight Test 1, seen on display, was launched in 2014 for Lockheed Martin's Capsule Maiden Voyage test mission. It's hard to miss the flight-proven SpaceX Falcon 9 booster, or first stage, suspended overhead. This booster flew twice, most notably as a side booster for the Falcon Heavy test flight in 2018 that launched the Tesla Roadster. There are also interactive simulators that will keep your kids engaged even if they are not aspiring for space travel. We walked across campus to the Atlantis Pavilion. This is home to the Shuttle Launch Experience, which allows guests to strap in for a simulation of the Space Shuttle's 8.5-minute ascent into orbit. On the day of our visit, the attraction had an almost 2-hour wait, and while we heard it was amazing, we simply were unwilling to sacrifice the rest of our time for this one exhibit. We left the exhibit line and re-entered the building through the gift shop 1 floor below. The Atlantis exhibit allows you to get up close and personal with the Space Shuttle Atlantis. She is displayed as only astronauts have seen her in space, rotated 43.21 degrees with the payload doors open and the Canada arm extended, as if just undocked from the International Space Station. One of 3 space-flown shuttles displayed in the United States, Space Shuttle Atlantis showcases the orbiter spacecraft and tells the story of NASA's 30-year shuttle program. The Atlantis exhibit features many aspects of the Space Shuttle program. You can explore shuttle missions that secured the future of the Hubble Space Telescope and the International Space Station. Using training simulators, you can learn to dock and land the shuttle. The area includes more than 60 interactive exhibits celebrating the history, technology, and impact of NASA's Space Shuttle program. Highlights include the Hubble Space Telescope Theater, astronaut training simulators, and forever remembered, the memorial honoring the astronauts who lost their lives during the Challenger and Columbia disasters. There are lots of kid-friendly attractions that even kept our youngest daughter Mia occupied, including a climbing apparatus to simulate the space station and a large slide that allowed her to experience a shuttle landing by sliding back to Earth. After some quick shopping, we reboarded the bus to return to the cruise terminal. We had 2.5 hours at the Space Center, and while that was clearly not enough time to explore all they had to offer, it was a nice visit and we were glad that we were able to do it.
Had a great day, Kennedy Space Center. Didn't really have enough time to do everything, but back on the ship, just got cleaned up for dinner. Girls are going to camp tonight, just Carrie and I are going to dinner, but we just stopped by the Sweet Lounge here to see what kind of hors d'oeuvres they had out, grab a drink, and this is the view from the lounge.
Dinner tonight was at Giovanni's table, and it was our first time eating here. We fell in love with Jamie's Italian on the Symphony and Harmony, and were disappointed in this restaurant. The food was good, but it did not seem as fresh and unique as what Jamie's had. The meat and cheese plank was plain and did not provide a great variety of options. For dinner, I had the mussels and a gluten-free pasta with Alfredo. Once again, the food was good, but not great. It was what we would expect from the dining room, not from a specialty restaurant. After dinner, we picked the girls up and hung out in Central Park, prior to watching sail away from the pool deck near the solarium. As we mentioned earlier, we have sailed out of Port Canaveral many times, but this was our first time visiting the area as a port stop. Leaving at night gave us a different perspective. As we left port, there was a SpaceX rocket on one of the autonomous drone ships that recovers the boosters. On our way out, we were also able to see a submarine docked at the naval base. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to our channel to be notified when we post more videos. Up next is a self-made sea day as we stay on the ship while docked in Nassau.